All right, a couple just on the medical side. Devin Neal, he's got a hamstring, so he'll be probably a couple weeks here. Moochie Dixon, he had a shoulder, so he's just kind of day-to-day. And then Juwan stayed day, but he'll be fine. He should be good to go. Those were the three guys that kind of outside of the ones that already have pre-existing things. So overall, transition practice going in from the scrimmage right into this. So again, I think it's great for our guys. They have to get used to this. You're a little bit sore still coming out of the Sunday scrimmage, and thought we had some good work. There's a lot of detail to go into it.
Is Juwan Johnson's absence attached to what he was already?
Yeah, same thing. Yep, all good.
What do you like about the offensive line? What have you seen working together?
Yeah, they're spending a lot of time together. They're working really hard. I love the physicality, and now it comes down to consistency, and that group has to lead our team. There has to be a leadership group. We've invested a ton of resources in that group, and so we expect a lot of them.
Kellen, is that more a game plan? I was with Rattler at first. It looked like it was a quarterback run, not an RPO. Do you have that both in the game plan, like actually run pass option and just it looks like the RPO?
We had a couple different tools in practice today. Again, just exposure to different schemes. There were some RPOs, but there were some design QB reads, read option types things where you can read the end and potentially pull it.
How do you expect California practices to be different?
We will shift to an afternoon practice. That'll be the main thing. Just our day will shift. But other than that, the intensity, the workload, very, very similar to what we're doing. We're still in training camp mode out there. That's the biggest thing. Like this isn't, a thing to go out there and have fun. We're still going a full normal training camp mode out there. And so it'll be excellent work for us.
Do you expect to do live scrimmage work in the next, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, we'll have one more practice when we're out there on Thursday, and then on Friday will be a scrimmage-like setting there. It won't be quite Sunday because obviously we have a game on Sunday, so we won't do that again. It'll be a little bit less than 126. So that'll be a scrimmage-type setting there. Again, one more opportunity right before the Chargers game, and then we'll play the Chargers, and then essentially we have three more practices out there. So we'll get some excellent work.
What went into how you kind of rotated the QBs today with Spencer going out there with the ones first, and has that rotation process kind of evolved at all with the preseason game plan?
Yeah, it's a day-to-day thing. Obviously, Spencer got a healthy dose of the ones there. Tyler got a little bit right at the end, and so we'll continue to evaluate each day. Very much in the evaluation mode, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Has he shown you something lately to get back-to-back days?
Yeah, I think he's doing a really good job. I think he's finding completions, doing a really good job protecting the football. He does have some ability to play with his feet. I think that's one thing that's shown from his perspective is his ability to get out of some things at times. He's doing some good things.
Have you decided on Rattler starting the first preseason game?
No, we have not.
What's the value of the shift to afternoon practices?
Just the weather out there and allow us to kind of be in more of a routine where we can install, walk, and then we'll practice at the end of the day. Nice little change for our guys. We tend to play, in afternoon games, and so a chance for us to kind of get back into that setting.
Kellen, what determines the running back rotation in the first preseason game Chargers, or just the preseason games in general? If you have only so many reps,
yeah.
You have a handful of backs.
Yeah, we're certainly we'll have those conversations here. Really, once we get to California, just as we ramp up going into the game on Sunday. Alvin, you won't see him. We're good there. But the rest of these guys, they're all going to get awesome reps. And so really all of them are alive the entire game. We'll try and get as many looks as we can. We'll obviously have to make a decision Wednesday, Thursday on a pecking order as we go into that.
Has that position been a little difficult to evaluate at this point? It seems like you got a lot of guys, and obviously with not full tackling, I'm guessing it's got to be a little difficult, right?
Yeah, the volume's a little bit tricky just because we have probably more than you normally would coming into a camp, but they're all worthy. There's not one guy in there that can't make our 53. They're all really good players. And then, the tackling component is real, and that's what you're most excited about with those guys in preseason.
How many running backs you want? Tyler seems to have a tendency sometimes to do a little sidearm Mahomes throw. Is there a time and a place for it? I mean, as a quarterback yourself, when is that a good decision? When is it maybe yours plant and throw?
I think you hit it there. You have to throw at different arm angles from a quarterback perspective. I think that's an important aspect for these guys. At the same time, when it is clean and you do have the opportunity to throw it in a more traditional manner, you just want to make sure you're using the right fundamentals when you need to.
Does not having joint practices affect your approach to preseason games with how you'd want to have the reps or anything?
Potentially a little bit. We'll create some setting while we're out in California where we're going to create a little bit of joint practice type feel to it, just competing against each other. And so I think there'll be some really good work out there that'll feel more, a little more unscripted, a little more game-like, where we can kind of simulate what you normally would have gotten in those settings.
You mentioned Alvin, but are there other guys that maybe you know who they are that you won't need to play in the preseason?
Yeah, certainly there'll be some of those guys. Again, we're not there yet. Once we get to California, we're going to have a meeting and kind of discuss the plan of action with really that Friday practice and that Sunday game. Those two kind of go together from a volume standpoint. So we just got to make sure we're dialed there.
You talked about all the talent in the running back room. How many running backs do you ultimately hope to keep on the roster?
Yeah, most of the time it's 3 or 4 in an NFL roster when you're talking about 53-man roster, and then 1 or 2 on practice squad. And so we'll see how it all plays out.
Like Will started with the first team, and then Eric took over for that final set of reps with there for a reason.
Yeah, we're just managing Eric's workload just a little bit and putting Will in that setting. So yeah.
Same with Justin Reed.
Yeah, there was a few guys today just coming off of the Sunday practice. We had obviously some excellent work on Sunday, just managing those guys, put them in position so that come to California once we get there Thursday, these guys can be ready to just go.
How have you seen out of Cam Jordan? What has he been like to deal with, both off the field and on the field?
Yeah, both aspects. I think he's done an awesome job. Obviously, his leadership's really valuable for us. We need it. We need him to be a guy who leads by example each and every day. And so on the field, he's doing a really nice job. You love his play style, you love his effort. His relentlessness shows up each and every day, and so he'll still have a very important role for us.
And how do you like this fit in this game?
Yeah, I think he's done a nice job. It's a transition for him. We get that part of it, and so he's done a great job just kind of picking up on it each and every day.
It's a bit of a challenge when you want to evaluate all 3 of the quarterbacks to maybe want to play them with one offensive line, but yet you don't want to play too much of your one offensive line, but you want to have apples to apples.
We'll see how that progresses. I think that's a fair discussion that we're certainly going to have. At the end of the day, we want all these quarterbacks to have a ton of success in preseason. We want to put them in the best possible situation to be successful. That should always be our goal. And so, I think we'll have those conversations for sure.
Putting your starting go.
Yep. For sure.
For the first half of 2 games.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes.
You've had a lot of great running backs that you've called plays for. How is Alvin even among the great running backs from your perspective? How is he different? What is unique for him, even among the great running backs?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Alvin's really a premier player. I think his vision's been really impressive. His ability to make that one cut and get north and south is really, really impressive. And then in the pass game, you can tell certainly we've dabbled in a little bit. There's a lot more probably to add to it as we continue to build, but his ability to play in the pass game will be very valuable.
You mentioned you don't know who's obviously going to start on Thursday with the QBs. When it comes to kind of where they're at now, like which steps do you want both of them to take in order for one of them to kind of establish themselves and kind of get a little bit more ahead of them specifically?
Yeah, I think it's the consistency each and every day. It's the leadership part of it. These guys, whoever ends up being the quarterback, you got to be a leader for this team, and that's a really important aspect of it. And so, we're trying to put them in a lot of different situations. I think, mixed down football's fun, but there's third downs, and today was a great example of putting them in a bunch of third down situations. Those are challenging situations, and you want to see the guys who can handle those.
Were you on the field for Shuck's interception? Did you see that?
I did see it. I had a little bit of batting. It looked like a safety played over the top and made a play. So.
Did Joe just want to see Torres Elliott center today to see if he could do it, or is that sort of a long time?
Yeah, we certainly feel like he can do it. So that's part of the evaluation process. For a younger guy, kind of keep him in that guard position for a while. We got through the scrimmage, and now we feel like there's some opportunities. A few of these guys will play in some different positions in the next week or two, just for us to have some cross-references and some more evaluation on them.
Does that include your
live repetition? Have you seen any leaks from this training camp from last season?
I think his command, you can certainly feel his command. I think the way he calls plays in the huddle, the way he communicates at the line of scrimmage, I think he's a really decisive player, and that's certainly what shows up.
Can I ask you a question about Chase Haslett? You had him in Dallas and you brought him here. Just obviously a lot of us know his father.
Yeah.
Just what makes him a good young coach? Why did you want him on your staff?
Yeah. Chase is phenomenal. I had a chance to work with him in Dallas for a number of years, and so anytime you have an opportunity, potentially to be a head coach, you're always kind of road mapping, who you'd love to have on your staff, and he was one of those guys. We spent a lot of time together in Dallas. He's really, really detailed. He prepares. He's got a great football mind. He thinks outside the box, which I love, and you can just tell he's got a great connection with this tight end group. This group rallies behind him. He has these guys prepared, so it'll be a lot of fun.
People see you in the building talk to you about his dad. Does he talk about his dad after winning the first playoff game?
Yeah, so we got to get the Haslett reunion here sooner rather than later. But obviously they got great experience here. It's fun for Chase, I think, at times to come back to the facility, and he recognizes the rooms and where his dad's office used to be and all that fun stuff.
Kellen, I know they already had the lockers and locker room set up when you got here, but did you make any changes as to like what players were next to each other? Do you think about that? Does it matter?
We did not. We did not let Bum roll with that one.